What's up, you guys? This is Steven, and I'm back with another photo analysis. This time, I'll be analyzing the various album covers of Ayumi Hamasaki's album, Colors, and that's Colors spelled with a U. And this photo analysis was requested by YouTube user Wikipedia. So thanks a lot for the request, Wikipedia. And as well, this is the very first photo analysis request that I received. So congratulations for that. And as well, you were actually the first person to request a lyrical analysis as well. So, hey, congratulations again. I'm going to start off with the CD only cover of Ayumi Hamasaki's album Colors. And the CD only version, I like this. I like this cover. I think that it is a nice beauty shot in profile. I think this is pretty much profile. It's just about profile because I don't think this is 3/4 profile. This is pretty much half. So pretty much a profile picture. However, I don't really see the theme of colors coming into play for any of the album covers for the album Colors. And to me, that's a bit odd, considering that Ayumi is so over the top with things and, very lavish and, showy. It just seems a bit odd that it's kind of simple. Like, I thought I would see more of a rainbow colored theme with this album. I know she has an album called Rainbow as well, and I don't think she really I think that it's both albums I guess would have a similar theme, colors and rainbow. I think that would have a similar theme in theory. However, I feel like I feel like Ayumi could have done more with this. I can understand her not wanting to maybe, I guess, be so obvious, and make a really just, whole like a watercolor rainbow album type of look with it. But I don't know, it just seems a bit bare, you know. But Ayumi's being different, I guess. She's trying to change it up. I don't know why, but she's trying to change it up, you know. So I respect her for not doing the same thing over and over again and trying to just, give your fans a surprise. But back to the album cover for the CD only version. Okay, she's giving good neck here, so that's definitely good. Um, I like how her face looks. Her eyes could have been a little stronger in this photo, but they're decent. It just could have been a little stronger, a little more life in the eyes, and I think this would have sold the photo better. Um, I like how her hand is positioned. It's kind of like upside down, and she has a decent outfit on. It's not spectacular or showy, or she's based on what I see of it anyway on this album cover. It's not really anything spectacular, but I think that might be what Ayumi is going for, just to tone everything down since it's a beauty shot and she doesn't want to be upstaged by her clothing. You know, although if you look at her hand, it seems like her hand is pushing her ear forward a little bit and making her ear look a little out of proportion, like a bit odd. It overall, I think it works. Although I think her ear should have been a bit like flatter and toward her, like just as her ear normally is without her hand being there. I think that's how her ear should have looked. But it's a decent look. I'm just nitpicking at this point though. But she has good arched eyebrows as well, and that works. Her makeup looks nice. And her hair, I guess it looks like she like crimped her hair or something. That's a bit of an odd look. And she's not blonde. That's odd too, because I'm usually used to Ayumi, having blonde hair. But for this cover or whatever, she changed up her, her signature blonde hairstyle, you know, for more of a brownish color, like more of a maybe a chocolate color. So good work there. Overall, this is a good album cover. The CD only version is a good, strong album cover. All right, next I'm going to look at the CD plus DVD version of the album cover for colors. All right. Now, I really like this album cover for the CD plus DVD version. I like how her arm looks. It's like it gives the photo some activity in it, or some more activity in it. I like how her eyes look in the photo. I like the way her mouth looks in the photo. She has a decent neck. It's not the best neck, just because the way she raised her shoulder when she put her arm in that position, it kind of takes away from her neck. But you can still see that she has some neck there still. And I think this is a nice album cover for the CD plus DVD version. And you don't really get to see as much of her outfit, but it's a beauty shot, so really the focus is supposed to be on Ayumi Hamasaki's face versus what she's wearing. So that's probably why she wore the outfit to begin with, since it wasn't extremely showy or anything like that. Really, what would have probably been a little better was if she had just went bare, like totally just went like strapless, and made it look like she was nude from the neck down. Even though she didn't necessarily have to be, just make it look that way for the photos. That would have been a good look too. But I guess Ayumi didn't want to go in that direction for some reason or another. But overall, I really enjoy this photo, and I think it's a strong photo as well. So good job to Ayumi for that. The next album cover I'm going to look at is the CD plus Blu-ray. And just right off the bat, I don't like how they did where they put like the C for colors like around her eyes. Like, I don't like how it's like that whole font for colors is taken away from Ayumi Hamasaki's face. And this is the beauty shot, and that doesn't work for a beauty shot, and it takes away from the quality of an album for the album cover. That was terrible. Whoever thought that, someone really let that slide. Like, they let a big mistake slide there. They shouldn't have did that. I also don't like how Ayumi Hamasaki's hands look in this photo. I don't know. It could have been a bit more delicate, a bit more feminine, perhaps. And I also don't like the positioning of her face. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like it is like she's losing her face a little bit within this photo, if that makes sense. It's just like, okay, when I see this photo for the CD plus Blu-ray and compare it to the previous two photos that I looked at, I'm like, okay, it seems like your face should have more to show, if that makes sense. Like in the previous two CD covers, like the previous covers of the album that we looked at so far, her face had like a better look with it. But with the CD plus Blu-ray version, her face, it looks good, her face looks good, but I just feel like that positioning of it isn't the best, And as well, we're kind of almost looking up her nostrils too, and that doesn't really help sell a photo. I like the positioning of her hand where it's upside down. I like how that looks. That looks good. I like her neck in this photo. She's giving good neck. Her eyes, you know, again, that font colors, the colors, that whole, like the lettering and stuff, like that takes away from the eyes. Like that's distracting me. I can't really get a good look at her eyes, but her eyes look good, at least around the C. It looks really strong, but her other eye, that's away and that's not covered, it looks odd. Like I don't know. It looks like her eyes aren't on the same page with each other. Like her eyes, like one eye is saying something and one eye is saying something different, and that doesn't work. Unfortunately, for me anyway. Overall, I think this is a decent photo. A decent album cover. Um, if they change the font, it could work better. You know, just changing the font alone would upgrade this photo. But as well, if Ayumi Hamasaki's hands looked a little different, a little more elegant, that would help. Overall, if you just take away the font, the crazy font, and change up her hands, I think this would be a better photo. She can even keep the crazy, angle of her face, because there is a bit of, like oddity with it. It's like a bit odd. Like, oh, that looks odd, So that could be a bit alluring, a bit of an alluring look to some people. But overall, so far, I would say this might be the weakest album cover for me personally, in my opinion. So far, at least. Let's check out the next album cover. Here is the album cover for the CD plus DVD Team IU edition. And this edition, from what I understand, comes with aroma candle. Isn't that like, that's a bit random to me. That's really random, but whatever. Another story for another day. But for now, I'll just stick to criticizing and looking at the album cover. Alright, this album cover, I like her eyes. Like, when I look at this album cover, like, I go right to the eyes. Like, her eyes seem to be telling a story here. And they seem to be on the same page versus the previous cover where her eyes were not on the same page. She's giving good neck in the photo, so that's good. I like how her hand looks in the photo where, like, the sideways are upside down hand. Although I don't like how it's doing that thing with her ears. It's covering up like part of her ear, and I don't think that's a good look. For some, like, that doesn't work for me. I don't know why, but I did complain about the ear on the CD only version, so I think I'll take that complaint back and put that complaint with this cover instead, and I'll just slash off the slash that complaint from the CD only version. But as far as the CD plus DVD Team IU version of the cover, album cover is concerned, let's see what else I can say. I think her facial expression could be a little stronger. It's a bit on the nose. It's like kind of like she's kind of surprised. Like she's not totally surprised. Like, oh wow. It's like, oh, it's like a bit too, I guess, on the nose. It's not quite surprised and not quite relaxed. A bit too in the middle. Her arched eyebrows look nice, and the way her face is positioned, in this photo. It's like 3/4 profile. Um, it's all right. It's not the best positioning in my opinion, but it's okay. I mean, it's all right. Um, but again, as a beauty shot, I think this would almost work for me. You know, if I could just see more of her ear, if her ear wasn't so like scrunched up in the photo, looking like that, I think this would work better as a beauty shot. But it's a decent shot, you know, not the worst, not the best. Okay, now I'll talk about the CD plus Blu-ray Team IU version of this album cover. And this album as well comes with an aroma candle for some reason. I don't know why. But as far as this cover is concerned, her eyes do draw me in, but when I look at both of them, it seems like it's similar to the CD plus Blu-ray version of this, where her eyes don't totally seem like they're on the same page. It seems like one eye is slightly further along, like her, I guess her left eye, which I guess technically would be her right, but the eye on the left seems to be looking more toward, like leaning more toward the right, while her eye on the right seems to be looking a little more straight on. It seems like her eyes aren't totally on the same page. Like they're not fixed on one specific target, for lack of a better word. And also, this photo has that same ear problem from the previous photo. Like, I don't know what's up with that. Like, I don't understand why would she make her ear look like that? This is supposed to be a beauty shot, and we're supposed to be drawn in, and this doesn't. That would be something more like, oh, that's weird. Like, weirdness sometimes works, and sometimes it doesn't work. This time around, it doesn't work as well. I do like her upside down hand again, so kudos to Ayumi for that. You can see some of her hair on like her hair going down and leaning on her neck, and it looks crinkled. So that's something different. And what else? What else I can say? I like the way her nose looks, even though you can, when you tilt your head up like that, you can get it can put your nose in an unflattering light. But I think this is it looks decent. It looks good. So I'll give her some credit for that. Her lips, her facial expression, a bit on the nose as well. Although I think it works better than the previous album cover that we looked at. This especially would have been a good photo for Ayumi to go strapless. This would have really worked as a like just a bare, bare decolletage. I think that's how you say it, like bare decolletage photo. However, I will say that, I did criticize Ayumi's eyes in this photo, but I will say I do like the life behind those eyes. I will say that, in comparison with the rest of the photos, I think this photo, the life behind the eyes, probably really helps sell this photo in comparison with the other photos. I think this is probably the most life I've seen in Ayumi's eyes during this whole, during all of the photos I've looked at, except maybe the CD plus DVD version. It'd be those two, I think, would be the best look with her eyes. Okay, so I've analyzed all 5 of Ayumi Hamasaki's album covers for her CD colors. And I'll say that overall, um, I don't really see the theme colors incorporated with any of the photos I've looked at. So I'm assuming that she didn't want to go with the theme colors for some reason or another. Okay, and that does happen on occasions, either by accident or on purpose, where, people don't really seem to stick with the theme or the topic or the brief for the photo. Nevertheless, if you decide to do that, then I will say that you need to have at least a good photo. If you don't stick to your theme, then at least have a good photo. That is like something, at least you can do something with a good photo. You can halfway make it seem like it, or look like it goes with something if it's just good, right? So that's just pretty much a good lesson to keep in mind anytime you're on a photo shoot or something. Just if you are confused about the theme or the topic and you can't get any exclamation or confirmation or anything, to give you more of an idea about the topic or theme, just make a good photo. And Ayumi has done that. She has provided some good beauty shots here. Some are better than others. Some are better than others. But nevertheless, she has accomplished the goal. My personal favorite was hard to choose. Like, there were some photos that really captivated me. Like, for me, it was three photos I was struggling with as my favorite. I'm thinking, okay, the CD only version, the CD plus DVD version, and the CD plus Blu-ray Team IU version. Like, those three photos I really like. For some reason, despite the flaws, I really like them. However, I have, like, I was able to choose a favorite. I'll say that. My personal favorite and the photo that I think is the best overall, I'm going to go with the CD plus Blu-ray Team IU version. And the reason I'm going with that version is because it has aspects of both the CD only version and the CD plus DVD version. Like, it has their good aspects both of their good aspects in the same photo. Like, you have Ayumi's neck from the CD only version. You also have her eyes. I like the way her eyes look in this. I like the life behind them. That's good as well. Oddly enough, I'll say that the worst photo for me, now that I'm really analyzing and looking at it, is probably the CD plus DVD version. And that kind of started off being as my favorite photo. But now, as I'm looking at it, I think that, the thing that brings it down for me personally is the neck. Like, the way her neck looks in the CD plus DVD version of the cover in comparison to the rest of the covers, it, like, her neck, like, she's not giving good neck in the photo, and I think that brings it down for me. So I say that is the worst photo for me. And I kind of hate, like, I feel kind of bad for saying that, because when I first came into the photo analysis, I liked this photo. But, once you really start looking at something, then I guess, you are open to changing your mind. As well, I'll say that the CD plus Blu-ray version of this album cover isn't as bad as I initially thought. However, I do feel that font, if anything, needs to be changed. That should have been caught. Someone should have caught that. I don't like that. It takes away from Ayumi's face and her look, for me personally. Like, if you look at all of the album covers, you'll notice that there's no font on her face. After all, it's a beauty shot. Why would font, why would letters be on her face? That doesn't make any sense. Someone should have caught that. That wasn't a good look. Alright, so this is how I rank the photos. The best photo that comes in first place would be the CD plus Blu-ray Team IU version. In second place would be the CD only version. In third place would be the CD plus Blu-ray version. In fourth place would be the CD plus DVD Team IU version. And in fifth place would be the CD plus DVD version. But overall, as a collection, I do think these are nice beauty shots of Ayumi Hamasaki. I just wish she would have maybe incorporated colors a bit more, but I guess because it's a beauty shot, you are limited. So as a beauty shot, I think this, I think it, considering if you're going to do a beauty shot, then I think Ayumi did a beauty shot very well. I think she did the beauty shot very well. However, just in general, the theme for colors should have been different, and perhaps instead of beauty shots, you would have had maybe body, like the whole shot of your body instead, at least on maybe some album covers. But I guess, since it's a beauty shot, it was harder to incorporate the theme of colors. Perhaps maybe wearing, some type of like colored contacts or something, or maybe wearing like some jewelry. I don't know. But as I said before, if you can't, if you're having trouble interpreting the theme, at least just take good pictures. And Ayumi has done that. So I give her props and kudos for doing that. She's definitely getting her model on, and in this photo session. She's definitely doing that. She's giving these, top models a run for their money with this photo shoot right here. I'm telling you. But I think that's all I have to say for now. I've gone on for too long as it is. My apologies for that. Again, I could go on for a little longer, but again, I should bring this to a close. So, hey, thanks a lot for listening to me talk. Thanks a lot for the support. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Hey, what do you think of these photos? What's your favorite? Which one do you think is the worst, the best, the middle? All that good stuff. But again, thanks a lot for watching. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.